about the 14th Street Bridge.
Yeah, he wrote that. But anyway, Richard Harrington is a writer out of Washington who finally started writing articles about me about 2 years too late. I was in Washington, D.C. I was the highest-rated disc jockey, and the Washington Post finally decided to write an article on me. The other Washington newspaper had written several glowing articles.
Yes.
I used to get really favorable press in Washington when I was first there, some 11 years ago. So Richard Harrington was the reporter signed by the Washington Post assigned to come and do a story on me. It was one of the most kiss-ass glowing stories that I was the second coming of radio. But I guess everything he wrote in there was a lie, because now he says I suck.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's either the biggest phony on 2 feet, big fat Richard Harrington. I wonder if he's still as fat as he was. I didn't think he'd make it this long. I figured he'd die of a heart attack. I just hate phonies, So what was the phony article? The first one?
Or this one?
Yeah, because I'm still doing the same stuff. So now I suck, but I used to be great.
Well, what happened?
He talks about how the MTV Awards were disappointing, he says. But and by the way, we've gotten many great reviews of the MTV Awards, and it's pretty much, my assessment is that I was the talk of the MTV Awards.
Absolutely.
Me and the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers who was in his underwear. But Richard Harrington talks about how everyone was a self-indulgent rock star. He says, least notably, shock jock Howard Stern, who dropped bare-bottom from the wings of UCLA's Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles, totally in character as Fart Man. The hall was alive with the sound of flatulence, and Stern somehow got a couple of people to palm his derriere. Unfunny, uncouth, unfortunate. Stern represented a new low for MTV. But what did you expect from a total ass?
Oof. That wasn't very nice.
Yeah, Richard. Well, this total ass has got you talking about him. And you know what else for a total ass, Richard? 11 years now, you're still writing the same column you were writing 11 years ago. Your career's gone real well. Stop being such a phony, Richard. Was the article 11 years ago a lie? Or are we supposed to forget about that one? Fat dickhead. Hate you, hypocrite.
I just thought it's interesting that all he could think to start off his article with was Fart Man.
Yeah. Well, it's the first paragraph, yeah.
Yeah. So terrible. Why would you
yeah, well,
lead off your article with it?
Here's an article in Broadcasting Magazine. Says it was one of the most exciting things. A big picture of me flying in at the MTV Awards. Here's another one out of It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Howard. Stern, a topic of controversy. And here's a giant picture of me flying into the MTV Awards.
Oh, great.
Here's an article out of Lansdale, Pennsylvania, The Reporter.
Yes.
And Aaron Spelling, it says, producer of such hit shows as Beverly Hills 90210,
Melrose Place,
Family, Dynasty. We had his daughter on the other day on the show when we were out in Los Angeles, who obviously was very attracted to me. Is that right, Robin?
Oh, she thinks you're the bee's knees.
That's right. Bee's knees. Where'd that come from? Producer Aaron Spelling rushed to get a tape of Howard Stern's radio show of last September 10th after being told that the outrageous interview with the shock jock had conducted with Spelling's daughter, Tori, had just been aired. He also rushed to get Tori on the phone for her explanation as to what happened.
And what happened?
Well, among other things, Stern got the 19-year-old Beverly Hills 90210 actress to say that her boyfriend sometimes stays overnight at the Spelling house.
Maybe her father didn't know.
Aaron's response, the house is big enough for a guest room. He may stay with Tori, but only until television is over. Well, that was hardly the impression Stern got out of Tori. Well, says Aaron, we trust her. And if I would have to answer whether I would condone Tori's having a boy in her room all night, I'd say I'd rather have that than have them stay in a cheap motel somewhere. Let me tell you something, Aaron. I would never allow my daughter to sleep with a boyfriend in my house.
Oh,
Never.
I thought you were upset when your mother wouldn't allow you to sleep with Allison in the house.
And she was right, though.
Oh, she was right.
My mother was right. I was a kid looking to get laid. But I'm going to tell you something, Aaron. I would not condone my daughter sleeping in the house with her boyfriend. Unless he had a lot of money.
Oh.
You know, and it was a locked, guaranteed thing. No, I really would not. I had this discussion with another parent last night. I said, what about that? Would you let your daughter bring a boyfriend over and sleep with him? I wouldn't. Not if
So,
she...
all right, let me ask you a question, because you're in a hypothetical situation where
Yeah.
everything is perfect and your daughter does exactly what you say.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying this. Suppose you already know she's sexually active with this person,
Go ahead.
and she's away at school, okay? And then she's coming home with this person.
Go ahead.
You're not going to let... Yeah, well, how
Ask me a
hypocritical is
question.
that? How hypocritical is it not to let them sleep in the same room?
I can't control what my daughter does outside my house that I don't know about. But when she's in my house...
You know about it.
Oh, I know about it?
Yeah.
I throw her head through a window. Let him beat off. That's my daughter. That's what he could do. He could beat off. What do you think of that? How do you like them apples?